And this is Celine, and we want to welcome you to today's episode of Hearth and Apron. I am a homemaker and stay-at-home mom who makes episodes to help to encourage and inspire you to tackle some of those everyday tedious tasks. Today's episode, we're going to be working and doing a complete deep clean on my kitchen, which was way overdue, as well as I'm going to show you some of the tips that I do when I meal prep my meat that save me a lot of time. And then at the end, I have an herbed grilled chicken with sauteed mushroom and Parmesan, Brussels sprouts, and orzo that I think you're really going to dig. So make sure to stay tuned and watch. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below. I would really love to have you as part of my YouTube family and to join me on this journey as I help to provide you and myself with a little bit of motivation. And speaking of which, this episode's jam-packed with it. Let's get going. We're going to do a spring clean, complete disinfect deep clean of the kitchen. And what we're going to be doing in this is we're going to go ahead and vacuum the tops of the cupboards down. We're going to wipe down all of the counters and the outsides of the cupboards and any kind of surface area. We're also going to go in and clean out the microwave, do the stove and the inside of the oven. And we're just going to do everything that we can to kill all the germs and just to get as clean and as nice as a space as possible.
What teenage girls and on tomboy t-shirts, when life was good and I wore out sneakers, when we will find out complications, those were the days in the tomboy t-shirts. Dirt on my jeans and single old snapback, floating through the street like holding your hand tight. Dirt on my jeans and single old snapback, floating through the street like I wish that we could turn back time, back to all of those nights when I knew you were mine.
So right now I am just updating my calendar, which is used with chalk markers. And I have another one in my office that I use for different things, but this is the family calendar.
Complications, those were the days in the tomboy t-shirt. Tomboy t-shirts.
Don't answer the phone, spending the days on my own, then repeats this for weeks to come. I don't care what I miss, 'cause my life is dismissed. I keep searching for my bliss. It took days to finally start writing songs.
This basket has all of my rags and towels that I use in the kitchen and for cleaning, and as you can tell, I've just been kind of throwing all the clean rags in here instead of folding them and putting it away, so I'm just going to get a little bit of order in this. Also, you're going to see me go through another basket that sits right next to it that has all of my aprons and other kitchen linens, and that one needs a little bit of help as well.
Oh, I sing along. I keep pushing myself now, dig deeper, I knew sound more than ever before. Keeps repeating my phrases to see if it changes rules I've gone before, like I couldn't get over, couldn't get over, couldn't get over you, couldn't get over.
Now I am just going to take off all of my magnets and pictures and things in the refrigerator and give it a good wipe down. I know a lot of people like to keep their refrigerators really clean of things, but I really enjoy seeing all the different pictures and the different magnets that we've gotten from our adventures throughout time. And also on the side I like to keep my menus, so it really makes it easy for me to have all of this on here. Do you like to have a lot of stuff on your fridge, or are you one of the people that really likes to keep it as minimal as possible?
Eyes when you told me goodbye is the one thing on my mind. It took days to finally start writing songs.
That was way too dusty for my rag. I am going to use my Dyson vacuum. This is just one of the attachments that I got from it because I got it through Dyson and they gave me this awesome little compartment filled with different attachments and a place to store it all. Bottles of wine in the back of my fridge are there as mementos. I don't normally store wine just randomly in the back of the fridge. It is actually a blonde and a red that came from Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's vineyard, and it was given to me by a friend. This little guy was also a gift. He was given to us by our friends the Axtels, and I went ahead and printed out our family clan shield and put it on there. I actually found out later that English heraldry does not fall down the way that some other heraldries do, so this actually isn't our clan crest, but as soon as we create one, because we do not naturally have one, I will replace this crest right here.
When you were leaving, I need you even more than I did before. You had the last word when you walked out the door. You drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. Now I'm here alone, I hate this party and I don't know anyone. We get drunk and we fight, but I forgive you although you drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. You'll be the death of me still, you're my medicine. Yeah, I need it, I need it. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you, I'm weak for you. Yeah, you, yeah, you. I'm weak for you.
I'm going to use my Dyson vacuum to vacuum off the top of all of my cupboards as well. Not all of them kind of have the right texture to be scrubbed, so the vacuum works out perfectly.
We forget about it, simple as that, but I don't know where my heart is. Still all that I want is you. Yeah, you'll be the death of me still, you're my medicine. Yeah, I need it, I need it. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you, I'm weak for you. Yeah, you, yeah, you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you, yeah, you. Now I'm trying to let you go, but I'm always losing control. Is that what you want me to do? Now I'm trying to let you go, but I'm always losing control. Is that what you want me to do? You'll be the death of me still.
If that looked uncomfortable, you're right, it was.
You light a fire just to put me out again. Yeah, I need you. Weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm weak for you. Yeah,
my microwave, I like to do it with as little work as possible. So what I do is I take a measuring cup and I fill it up halfway with white vinegar. I sometimes like to use cleaning vinegar as well. And I put it in for, let's say, about 3 minutes and let it cook. And by the time that I pull it out, everything is just easy to wipe off. I don't have to do any scrubbing. And if sometimes I find that things are still a little bit caked on, I just need to put it in there for a little bit longer and it just comes off so easy. If you haven't tried this trick, do yourself a favor. It's outstanding. Now, while this is going, I'm going to go ahead and get started getting this stove and oven cleaned off.
I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump. Oh, what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again.
Oven look bananas. I've had all kinds of stuff spill out in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take out all of the racks, vacuum out what I can. Obviously I don't have anything greasy on the bottom or I wouldn't use my vacuum, but this mess has to be tackled. It's bananas! Right now I am going to paint on my cleaning solution, which is just vinegar, baking soda, and Castile soap. I'm actually using the citrus soap from Grove Collaborative. I get most of my cleaners there. And I have the funnest toy to show you with how I'm gonna get this clean. It makes it so easy. So this is a scrubby I got on Amazon, and you can connect it to any drill, and there's about actually 3 different kinds of heads, so you can do different kinds of cleaning. I have used this to do my sinks, I've used it to get stubborn stuff off of counters, or like on the outsides of cupboards. This is incredible. I cannot recommend this enough. I got all 3 of them, I think, for $12. And it just took what could have been a long time of me scrubbing this oven to being a couple minutes of quickly going over it with my drill.
When I'm all alone, try not to think about it. Invade my thoughts with your honeycomb. Try not to think about it, but baby I do.
As you can tell, while that was really effective at getting my stove clean, it did make a mess. Let's get that vacuumed up. I scrubbed all of these cupboards right here and didn't realize that I had it focusing above my head on the camera, so just picture it in your mind. It happened. Let's continue. Okay, real life moment. Please don't judge. The sink looks disgusting. I don't know how this happened, but let's fix it. I'm going to go ahead and use soft scrub with bleach for this, and you're going to be surprised how much better it looks once I'm done.
Listen up, I gotta tell you, there is something you should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't even know where to begin. If I allow myself to dream, will it be as good as it seems? Pull me out of this place in the middle, nothing more to embrace in the middle, If I try to climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Take me up into the mountains, send me off into the wild. Misery is still a path I would choose if the alternatives are worse. I guess it's
Isn't the kitchen taking forever? I actually sped this up dramatically. I can tell you that by the time this chore was done, I was so over it. But make sure that you stick around because I have a really awesome recipe for you at the end. We're going to do grilled chicken with sauteed mushrooms and Parmesan Brussels sprouts and orzo. So you don't want to miss it. If you haven't noticed, part of the counter is a little bit jacked up on the side. We had to take the tile off because we had to replace the dishwasher and it was a big ruckus. We still have the tile and we are going to fix it, but it just wasn't something that has been done yet.
I'm not that good at faking it. I feel somehow I've broken it. I don't believe I'm part of it. In the middle.
So I try to clean my cupboards every 3 to 6 months. I always find that by the time I get to them though, I really think that maybe I should have done it sooner. How often do you clean your cupboards?
To climb up the wall, everyone can see when I fall. Nothing really matters at all. Pull me out of this place in the middle, nothing more to embrace in the middle.
This is a sticker that I made on my Cricut, and it's just kind of a little bit of an embellishment for my compost bin.
You were my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you. You and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like
Hooray, hooray, the other side of the room.
we were in too deep. In your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever.
Holy cow, and it's finally done. That only took forever. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're still there, let me know in the comments. Your support means so much to me. We're going to change things up now, and I'm going to show you how I meal prep my meat. So if you're new here and you don't know, I like to wear pink gloves. Well, I don't care what color they are, but I like to wear gloves when I cut up my meat. I'm really not fond of the texture of raw meat, and this helps me to feel better about it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to separate this meat out. I'm going to fillet some. You're going to notice some is going to be cut into strips and some is going to be diced. And I basically set all of this aside and put it into different meals. That way, when it's a busy night and I know I need to make dinner, instead of having to take out chicken and cut it up as well, because I don't really like touching raw meat, it's already done for me. And it just really shaves off that extra bit of time that on a busy evening can make all of the difference. Okay, so this little bag I got out of the freezer, that's where I put my pet food. All the rest of my meat I'm also going to be putting into bags, but these ones are vacuum seal bags. And I normally like to cut them in half if I don't have a big thing, but you'll see I kind of accidentally had a forgetful moment here. But basically, these help to make sure that my food doesn't get freezer burnt, and it kind of helps me to make sure that everything's individual and as small as possible because I have a very small freezer and every bit of space really means a lot. So this is my vacuum sealer, and it just takes a couple seconds. I got it really cheap on Amazon. I'll make sure to try and link it below. And I just use this. It really helps to make all of my food last so much longer in the freezer. And then I go over it with a permanent marker and write what it is and what date that I froze it so that I know what I'm working with. And I'm not trying to have the guessing game of, hey, what was this again? So from that pack of chicken I cut up with you, I was actually able to get 5 meals worth. One that I'm going to use for a recipe to show you in just a minute, as well as these 4 in front of you. The sausages there, they were something I had in my fridge that needed to be put into the freezer, and so I just added those in.
Do you want me, babe? Or is it just...
Let's change it up a little bit. I'm going to clean up these beds really quick. This is actually my green onion, and in a second I'm going to work on my thyme. And the reason that I took you out here with me today is not only just to change up the scenery a little, but because I'm going to be using these fresh herbs from my yard in a recipe I'm about to show you, where we're going to make an herb grilled chicken, and then we're also going to saute some mushrooms and make a Parmesan Brussels sprout bake, as well as a Parmesan orzo to go with it. This meal was outstanding, and I hope that you like it, and please check it out and try it. If you do, please tag me on Instagram. I want to see your pictures and hear how the experience was for you. To start off my chicken recipe, I'm going to just drizzle on a little bit of olive oil. Then I'm going to put on some Worcestershire sauce. I don't really measure this, just a little bit for flavor, as well as a little bit of garlic paste. You can also use fresh garlic for this. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm going to take these herbs that I got out in the garden, and I'm going to chop them up, and I'm going to take the stems off of all the thyme, and we're going to add just a little bit of this, and I'm going to save the rest and dry it for later. Now that all of my ingredients are together, I'm just going to whisk this up a little bit and set this chicken aside for about half an hour to an hour so it can sit and soak up all that flavor. Next, we're going to go to our sides. Let's start out by starting our Parmesan orzo. I'm going to put 3/4 cup of orzo in, and I feel like that covers my family of 3 just perfect. Now, while that's going to get to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and start my sauteed mushrooms. My mushrooms are already rinsed, and I'm going to use 1/4 stick of butter and let that melt into the pan. Now, I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil and a dash of salt to my orzo so that I don't have any sticking on my noodles, and I feel like that really helps out a lot. I'm going to let these mushrooms cook for about 5 or 6 minutes. You'll start to notice as they get tender, as they significantly shrink down. Once that's done, I'm going to set them to the back of the stove so that they don't continue to cook, and to give a little bit of attention to this orzo that I've actually strained off screen already. I'm going to put 1/4 cup of bouillon or chicken broth into my orzo here. I have Better Than Bouillon, so that's what I'm using. Then I'm going to add just a sliver of butter, and I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for a couple minutes, and I'm going to shake in maybe a little bit of garlic salt with it as well, and a little bit of other salt and some onion powder. And now I'm going to add a whole bunch of Parmesan to it as well, and once it kind of warms up a little bit and you notice that Parmesan is starting to melt, it's pretty much done. I also added, I think, a dash of parsley, if I can remember right. Okay, let's talk Brussels sprouts now. I feel like to have the best Brussels sprouts, you almost have to cook them 2 ways. So we're going to go ahead, and they've already been washed. I'm going to cut the ends off. We're going to cut them in half. If they're really big, I'll quarter them. And I'm going to boil them for 10 minutes. And this is a really important step because it helps to make sure that they're not quite so bitter. After that, I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to smash them up in my pan. You can see right behind me that has just a little, like 1/4 teaspoon of bacon grease, as well as some butter. And this is what I'm going to put into the oven at 450. You're also going to see I'm going to add a little bit more of that garlic paste, some garlic salt, and Parmesan cheese. Once your Parmesan cheese starts to get crispy in the oven, that's when you're going to want to take it out. I like to get it extra crispy, and so you're going to notice that some of my Brussels sprouts are a little bit burnt, but I really like it that way. Here's my chicken right off the grill, and let's go ahead and plate this. As you can see, my daughter has peas because she does not like Brussels sprouts, but my husband and I both really enjoyed it, and I think that you'll like this recipe too. Go ahead and try it out, and don't forget to let me know on Instagram how it turned out and what you think. I hope that you really enjoyed today's episode and it gave you all the motivation you were looking for. Also, if you try my recipe, please don't forget to tag me on Instagram. I want to see your pictures and hear your story. I love to get to know you. Either way, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. I would love to have you join me on this journey as I get my channel going and get to know everybody and really just thank the community that has inspired me so much. I hope that your weekend and your day, whenever you're watching this, is completely magical. Thank you again.